Greetings to the Rastafari family. This is Chief Ayakongo I, the Brimstone Bungo I. I greet the family today with a message of unification, a message of standing together, a message of denouncing all other deals and all other pledges made beside to the Rastafari family. If you've made a deal or made some form of personal agreement with anybody else beside Rasta, we call upon your Rastafari heart to desist from that process, to unify now, to galvanize, to become one Rastafari movement that says to anyone that is dealing with us that we have to sit at the table again and deal with our rights, which is dealing with not just human rights, but the UN DRIP, the United Nations Declaration of Indigenous Peoples, which again, as I've explained, we use as a vehicle at a time where the vehicle is running. Yeah, we understand the plan. But I want to continue with the message to the Rastafari family. We have to put aside our differences right now. We can't afford to let proud, stiff-headed, hard-heartedness to cause I and I to be imprisoned into a system of ownership by Babylon. That is something they're working on, and it's almost there. There's only a few voices and a few eyes that are seeing the truth and a few voices that are speaking it. But I'm hoping that all of your ears are hearing the truth today, that Rastafari split up into all of these different ideologies and cliques and sects. Sectarianism is dissolving the Rastafari's collective power, which they are enjoying because they get to siphon off that leak. You see, it's like that is our pipeline of energy, but because it's all dismantled, it's leaking different places, and ones are drinking and feasting and having a good time on Rastafari. Well, I said that's enough. I say that's enough. What about you? Don't you think that if we come together collectively and we get the benefit together as Rastafari, that's better than once making personal deals and claiming to be empowered by the same Babylon we came to burn down? His Majesty was totally anti-white supremacy and colonialism. His Majesty said he wanted to see the destruction of that system. So what is it that Rastafari collectively now is doing, wrapping back up with that system? And I wouldn't even say collectively. I would just say individual and personalized, groupically. That's got to stop. We got to stop seeing ourselves as different. Anything else we are is one thing, just Rastafari. I and I is nothing else. All the other names and titles added to Rastafari came after. We weren't Naya Bingi before we were Rastafari. We weren't Bubble Shanti before we was Rastafari. We wasn't 12 Tribe before we was Rastafari. We wasn't School of Vision. We wasn't none of these names, brands, anything that is out there. We were Rastafari. And so Rastafari must be what we return to. We must send Kofa to Aito. I and I heart and spirit must become one again in order for us to stand together and say, listen government, listen you investors, listen you who have been culture vulturing. It's time for Rastafari to run their own business. This is the Chief Ayakongo I. I'm reaching out to my family, the Rastafari, to take charge of their lives, their destiny, to become the self-reliant, self-determined people we're supposed to be, and to tell all other deals that they are null and void, and that we will be working through just one Rastafari to make the decisions, to make the benefits that come be for Rastafari. And we are removing all chaperoning, all surrogate parents, mothers and fathers who want to be parents over Rastafari because they think we don't have a parent. Listen, man, Father, Mother, Yahweh, Father, Mother, Guramawi, Kedamawi, Haile Selassie, and Empress Menen, is our stronghold. Yeah, I know what we talk about, and we know where our sovereignty is. It's not from the island of Jamaica. Our sovereignty is from I's earth birth, not our in island, slavery connection thing. No, we're talking about being the original beings, like Ethiopians, knowing that the sovereignty we speak of is through the king, right? Not from the island of Jamaica. The island of Jamaica is just a stop off on the Spice Islands till we went forward to the motherland. I'm just saying that, every place has its importance. And I'm not giving up the Spice Islands. I'm not saying that we should leave this to any white people or colonizers or anyone. These are our islands. We have to reclaim all our land, all our property. Our inheritance is being returned. So it's not about everybody packing up and going to a so-called location called Africa. It's about understanding that we Africans own the planet and that we must begin to claim it, reclaim it. Now, it is that we're supposed to, according to the UN DRIP, work with the government, work with the state, then we would say. But the state must be fulfilling the wishes and the plans that we have in place for ourselves. And they're supposed to be working in tandem with I to make those dreams or make those plans and projects manifest. So that is what I wanted to state on this quick little vid that I've created. I'm starting to do it this way so that ones can understand that it's time for Rastafari to galvanize and come together to remove all the petty differences. I'm willing to stand with everyone and anyone that is willing to change and go the right way. It is about our rights and not about the deals that all of these those ones who made that mistake, went that direction. You're being given a chance to reconcile and do what is right. So this is it. This is 2024. We know that in 2030 things are going to be much different. What are we waiting on to get our thing together? Where is the Rastafari farm? What about food when the supermarkets lock? Rasta, you don't eat meat. What are you going to do if you don't have farms? If you don't have food? What's going on? Here comes the rice season. We want y'all to come and be a part of the Rastafari's project this year so that we can have plenty of rice in case that the famine drops on the world. We got to be prepared as Rastafari. We were given that far eye to see ahead. Let's go ahead and use that gift and prepare ourselves.